I just ate a whole piece of chocolate cake, and it's not even a special occasion. Now I feel terrible. It feels like I've ruined the whole week. I was doing so well. Salads for lunch, no sugar in my coffee, and then I just gave up. Why is it so difficult to just be consistent?
Was the take a failure, Mark? Or was it just cake?
It feels like a failure. It's a step backward. All the good work is gone.
Most people believe that healthy eating is a straight line. You start at unhealthy, and you must walk perfectly towards healthy. Any step off that line feels like you're back at the start.
Yes, exactly. That's how it feels.
That sounds logical. But what if the problem isn't the cake? What if the real problem is the idea of the straight line?
I don't understand. What else is there?
A circle, maybe, or a direction. The problem isn't what you eat in one moment. It's the belief that one moment defines everything. That belief is what makes people quit, not the cake.
So you're saying I shouldn't feel guilty?
I'm saying the guilt is more damaging than the sugar. The guilt is what tells you you've already failed, so you might as well eat the rest of the cake.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So where do you start, if not with rules about what to eat and what not to eat?
We start by destroying the idea of the perfect diet.
The perfect diet. That's what everyone is trying to sell. Eat only these foods and you'll be healthy. You'll have more energy.
Exactly. And people believe it because it's simple. A clear set of rules. Follow the rules, get the prize. It feels safe. It feels like control.
But it never works for me. I can follow the rules for a week, maybe 2. Then life happens. A business dinner, a friend's birthday, a stressful day. And I break a rule. Then the whole system collapses.
It collapses because it's built on a foundation of deprivation.
Deprivation. Yes, that's the word. Feeling like I can't have something. It just makes me want it more.
Human psychology. The moment you tell yourself, I am not allowed to eat pizza, your brain starts thinking only about pizza. The diet creates a battle in your own mind. It's exhausting, and you will eventually lose that battle.
So the perfect diet fails because it's too strict.
It fails because it's not designed for a human life. It's designed for a laboratory. A real life is messy and unpredictable. The alternative isn't to have no plan. The alternative is to build a plan that can bend without breaking, one that is sustainable.
Sustainable. Something I can do for years, not just for a few weeks.
Imagine you want to learn piano. One method is to practice for 8 hours, 1 day a week. The other method is to practice for 30 minutes every day. Which person will be a better piano player in a year?
The person who practices every day. The other person will probably quit after the second week.
Of course. And healthy eating is the same. It's not about short, perfect performances. It's about long-term, imperfect practice.
Okay, I see that. No perfect diets, but you still have to choose what to eat. And some foods are just bad, aren't they? That's my next problem. The good versus bad thinking.
Tell me about that. What does a good food look like to you?
It's a salad, grilled chicken, brown rice, vegetables, water, things that are healthy.
And a bad food?
Pizza, ice cream, chocolate cake. The things I enjoy.
So you've created 2 lists in your mind, a list of foods for health and a list of foods for happiness, and you feel you have to choose between them.
Yes, and I feel guilty when I choose the happiness list. It feels irresponsible.
This idea of good and bad food is everywhere. We see it in marketing, on social media. It's a very simple story, but it attaches morality to your plate. It makes you a good person for eating a salad and a bad person for eating a cookie.
That's a heavy weight for a cookie to carry.
It is, and that weight creates stress. When you eat the cookie and feel guilty, your body releases stress hormones. That stress is also unhealthy. You've created a new problem.
So I'm trying to be healthy, but the way I'm thinking is actually creating a different kind of unhealthiness.
Precisely. We need to change the labels. Instead of good food and bad food, let's try a different frame. Let's think about food having a purpose. Most of the food we eat should be primarily nourishing.
Nourishing. I like that word. It sounds positive. It's about what the food gives you, not what it takes away.
Exactly. Nourishing food provides energy, vitamins, protein. It builds your body. A salad with fish is nourishing. A bowl of oatmeal is nourishing. But some food has a different purpose. Its main purpose might be social connection, or celebration, or simple pleasure.
Like birthday cake.
A perfect example. Is the primary purpose of a piece of birthday cake to give you vitamins?
No. It's to celebrate with someone, to share a moment.
So you wouldn't judge it on its nutritional value. you would judge it on its ability to help you celebrate. It's doing a different job. The problem comes when we expect a celebratory food to do a nourishing job, or when most of our food is doing the celebratory job.
Okay, so food isn't good or bad, it just has different roles. Some food builds my body, other food builds my memories.
A beautiful way to put it. This removes the guilt. You can choose a nourishing meal because you want to care for your body, and you can choose a piece of cake because you want to celebrate with your friends. One choice doesn't cancel the other.
This is a huge shift, but I still feel lost. If there are no rules, no good or bad lists, how do I make decisions every day? I need a system. I can't just trust my feelings.
You are right. You need a system, but a system of rules is too rigid. What you need is a mental model, a principle that is flexible.
Flexible, so it can adapt to my real life, to the unexpected business dinners?
Exactly. The most effective model for this is often called the 80-20 principle.
I've heard of that for business. Like 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts.
The same logic applies here, but we use it differently. The idea is that you focus on eating nourishing foods 80% of the time.
And the other 20%?
The other 20% is for the cake, the pizza, the wine with friends. It's for the foods whose main purpose is enjoyment, not nourishment. It's planned flexibility.
80-20. That sounds manageable. It doesn't sound like a diet. It sounds like a balance.
That's what it is. If you eat 3 meals a day, that's 21 meals in a week. 80% of that is about 17 meals. That means you can have 4 meals that aren't focused on nourishment, and you are still perfectly on track.
4 meals. So I could have pizza on Friday night, I could have dessert on Sunday, and a nice lunch with a client. And it's part of the plan? It's not a failure?
It is the plan. The 20% is not a mistake. It is a necessary part of a sustainable system. It is what makes the 80% possible week after week, year after year. It prevents that feeling of deprivation.
This makes sense. But Sarah, if this is true, why do so many smart people still fail? This 80-20 idea sounds simple, almost too simple. It feels like an excuse. If I give myself permission to eat unhealthy food 20% of the time, won't that just become 30%, then 40%? Where is the self-discipline in this system?
That's the most important question mark, and it's where most people misunderstand this idea. They believe the discipline is in avoiding the 20%. They think the work is saying no to the cake.
Yes, that's what I thought.
The real discipline isn't about avoiding the 20%. The real discipline is about consistency. The skill you are building is the consistency of returning to your 80% without guilt or drama after enjoying your 20%.
So the key isn't the moment I eat the pizza. The key is what I eat for breakfast the next morning.
Exactly. The old model says, I ate pizza last night. I'm a failure. The diet is over. I might as well have pancakes for breakfast. The 80-20 model says, I enjoyed pizza last night as part of my 20%. Now it's the next morning and I'm returning to my 80%, so I'll have some oatmeal and fruit.
There's no emotion in that decision. It's just the system.
It's just the system. The 80-20 principle works because it removes the guilt. Guilt is the emotion that turns a single slice of pizza into a whole weekend of bad choices. Without guilt, the 20% has no power over you. It's just a small, enjoyable part of a much larger, healthier pattern.
The flexibility of the 20% is what makes the consistency of the 80% possible.
You have it perfectly. The goal is not perfection. The goal is a healthy direction, maintained over time.
So a truly sustainable plan for eating has to be flexible. It can't be a list of rules.
Yes, it must be designed for a real human life.
And it works by removing that feeling of deprivation. It does that by separating nourishing foods from foods for enjoyment without calling them good or bad.
That's right. It removes the moral judgment. And the real skill, the real discipline, is the consistency of returning to that nourishing base, not the willpower to never leave it.
That is the entire mental shift. I've always focused on the mistakes, on the 20%. My entire energy was spent trying to avoid those moments and then feeling terrible when I couldn't.
And now?
Now it seems the 80% is what matters. The progress isn't in avoiding the pizza. The progress is in all the other meals, the ones I never even noticed.
The goal was never to be perfect. It was just to be heading in the right direction, most of the time.
So the chocolate cake I ate earlier, it wasn't a failure.
It was just the 20%.